Can someone explain to me what is going on right now? What's up to the Knicks Nation? Shout out to the chat gang. I see you guys in here. I appreciate you guys being part of this kind of emergency stream regarding the Knicks and a roster move that they just made. And for me, I was scratching my head, and I'm still scratching my head because I don't understand. I'm not sure why the Knicks even made this move. Shout out to everybody who's watching right now. But if you guys don't understand, the Knicks have just made a major roster move. According to reports, the Knicks have just signed former NBA champion PJ Tucker to the final roster spot of this team. We're going to break down all of the following details and explain why and the real reason the Knicks chose to add PJ Tucker to their team with that final roster spot. We're going to break down all of these latest reports today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure you have notifications turned on. As I always say, we are still on that goal of trying to reach 50,000 subscribers, and we could really use your support. If you enjoy daily Knicks content like this, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button because it could really support all the great content that we're creating for you. And now, let's get started. The Knicks signed former NBA champion PJ Tucker to the roster. If you guys are just as confused as I am right now regarding this signing, don't worry. It sounds like we're all on the same page. Take a look at this Knicks roster. Just take a look at it from top to bottom. What do we need on this team? Just an outsider's perspective. Even if you don't watch all the games, you probably know. We need more size. Do we need another guard? Do we need an undersized wing? No. We need size, especially when you consider that the Knicks center rotation right now is really 2 players. If you want to include Achua, that's 3. And one of those players is Mitchell Robinson, who is on a minutes restriction. Mind you, each and every single one of our players who plays center is dealing with some form of injury. Achua, hamstring. Karl-Anthony Towns dealing with a number of knee injuries throughout the season. And Mitchell Robinson, he just came back from injury. Why are we playing Russian roulette with the center position? Add size to this team now before it's too late. But it looks like the Knicks are not going in that direction. Instead, according to reports, they're moving in another direction. They're pivoting, and instead, they're targeting a former NBA champion in PJ Tucker to add to this team. Let's break down these following reports that we have from Shams of ESPN. Shout out to Shams for giving us the following information on the Knicks' latest roster move. According to him, free agent PJ Tucker plans to sign with the New York Knicks on a 10-day contract. The 14-year NBA veteran held discussions with multiple teams over the last week. Tucker, a 2021 NBA champion with the Bucks, gives the Knicks an enforcer and front court depth. According to Bagley, the Knicks see PJ Tucker as an integral addition to the locker room that has young veterans, but none with experience of Tucker. And again, he's a 14-year veteran that will be bringing a lot of that experience into the locker room. He has championship experience as well, too. The Knicks wanted somebody with an enforcer mentality, which is why they targeted Tucker. And again, the Knicks have Tucker, and they're planning to give him a 10-day contract. The club has said that they need a center. So they've acknowledged that they have a needed center. However, people in touch with the Knicks have stated that they plan to use PJ Tucker as part of their front court rotation. And they believe that they have their center position covered between Karl-Anthony Towns, Mitchell Robinson, and Precious Achua, if you can actually imagine that. But this is where we are right now with this entire situation as we speak. And I cannot understand at this point why the Knicks even chose to add PJ Tucker on this team. As I mentioned, the Knicks at this point in time, they stated the club has a need at center, but the Knicks, according to people in touch with them, have targeted Tucker because they believe the center position can be covered with the likes of Karl Anthony Towns, Mitchell Robinson, and Precious Achiuwa. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I first read this report, when I first heard about this, I'm still doing it. I'm still scratching my head. 39-year-old veteran, PJ Tucker. He's the one that you use your final roster spot to sign. The only silver lining here, the only one, is that the Knicks signed him to a 10-day contract. If you sign him to a 10-day contract, after 10 days, if you don't like him, you could waive him. You don't have to have him on the team anymore. And you can go out there and look at other players that potentially you still want to add to this team. So that is the only silver lining that I can take away from this signing, the fact that it's a 10-day. But I still don't understand why the Knicks made the move in the first place. According to Shams and Bagley, they stated the main reason that the Knicks made this move is because they wanted an enforcer and somebody that they can utilize in the front court. I'm sorry. Enforcer? 39-year-old PJ Tucker is an enforcer? He's going to be the guy you lean on to help calm down things in the game? Maybe he can be that veteran voice that you need in the locker room. That's the only thing he's going to be. You're utilizing your final roster spot for a voice? It can't be that deep. There has to be more to it. It can't just be that the Knicks see PJ Tucker as a voice and some type of physical enforcer that they need. It has to be another reason. Well, I looked into this, and I looked a little bit further to see what the real reason was why the Knicks signed PJ Tucker. And shout out to Shams for giving us the following information. According to Shams, he states, Tucker has made 704 corner three-pointers over the past 12 seasons. That's 704 corner three-pointers over the past 12 seasons. The most in the NBA during that span. A proven playoff performer on both ends of the floor. Tucker has played 104 postseason games in his career. The Knicks rank in top 10 in corner three-pointers and are last in bench scoring, per ESPN research, making a depth signing in Tucker beneficial for both sides. Tucker is expected to be an option for the Knicks coach Tom Thibodeau across all front court positions while providing support for Karl Anthony Towns, Mitchell Robinson, and Precious Achiuwa. Now we understand it. That was the main reason. I knew there was a little bit more. It couldn't only be that the Knicks see a 39-year-old PJ Tucker as a quote-unquote enforcer that can bring enforcer mentality in the locker room, can bring that voice in the locker room. There was more to it, and we found out what it was. The real reason is because of the way he shoots the corner three, and the Knicks really value that and need more scoring off the bench. That's one of the reasons they did it, but also so they could utilize him in the front court across all positions. What does that mean? That means what the Bucks did when you saw small ball PJ Tucker. The Knicks, they might run small ball PJ Tucker. Why do I say that? What did the Knicks do a few years ago when Julius Randle was out? What did they do again? Oh, yeah. They played Josh Hart out of position at that position. You're telling me they wouldn't play PJ Tucker at that position, even though he's played it in his career before? And clearly we understand how physical a defender he used to be in his career. I'm not saying that what he is right now is a physical defender. Honestly, I don't believe that's the case at all. But the Knicks right now, utilizing this roster spot for PJ Tucker, while I understand the real reason, you want more bench scoring, you want more three-point shooting, you want a threat in the corner. I understand that. But looking at your roster right now, do we really have the luxury of adding a, if you want to call him that, an oversized guard, 6'5" guard, quote unquote, forward in PJ Tucker? Do we have the luxury of adding that right now? Because the more I look at the roster, the more I review last night's game, the more I see the same thing. we have a deficiency in size. So why are we signing PJ Tucker? 6'5", 39-year-old veteran PJ Tucker, when Moses Brown, 7'2". Moses Brown is there. He's right there. And all you gotta do is pick up the phone and call him. The Knicks trust their depth at center? I'm sorry, what? You trust Achua, Robinson, and Towns at center? All three of them were on the injury report yesterday. All of them. And you trust them for PJ? For PJ? I'm good. Not gonna. For PJ Tucker, you gotta be losing your mind. I understand it. Trust me, I get it. I understand we need a veteran presence in the locker room. Do we really need voices? We need voices in our head. Are we Randy Orton? We don't need voices. We need size. We need more presence. We need Moses Brown, 7'2" monster that potentially can sub in back-to-backs when you don't have Mitchell Robinson, when Karl Anthony Towns is in early foul trouble, if Preston Achua can't go. That's why you utilize the depth that you have. Silver lining. It's a 10-day contract. Worst part of it, though, is the Knicks value him this much. It is a 10-day contract. That is the silver lining. And if nothing comes from this besides the 10 days, I'll be happy. But we heard the reasoning. They have a plan in place to why they're signing PJ. They're not just doing it because they like the signing. They have an idea, a spot, a plan. Josh Hart even commented on the 10-day contract signing. Why? Because it was PJ Tucker. And what did he tell PJ to do? Bring his Nike collection with him. Because they're boys. Because they're friends. Another reason, another link to why the Knicks are likely going to keep PJ on this team. If they do that and keep him for the final rest of this season into the postseason, I will never understand that move. That move is a luxury move. You make that move when you don't have a need at anything, when you're not hurting in any place. We have a desperate need at center, a desperate need for wings, tall wings. Chuma's right there. TJ's right there. You wanted somebody with a J in their first initial. You could have just chose TJ. Younger, more efficient, and taller. You could have chose him. But no. You choose to add PJ Tucker. The old veteran that we don't really need. But why did they add him? We know why. But there's another reason why. We all know the reason why. I just said it, right? He's a long-term NBA veteran. And if the Knicks went after Moses Brown, would he get the same type of time as a PJ Tucker did after all of the years of service he gave this league and how Tom Thibodeau views veterans versus younger players? That's probably another reason why the Knicks made this move, because they knew, depending on who they signed, Tom Thibodeau is going to be the one who utilizes that player. And they probably thought that PJ Tucker had the most opportunity to be utilized versus a player like Moses Brown. Why, by the way, that makes no sense to me. I still don't understand that. But again, that's likely what they thought given the coach. So now we're making even more roster decisions because we feel like this is the best move for the coach to utilize more players. I just want everybody to understand where we are right now. Wasted. That's just my opinion, but wasted. We didn't need PJ Tucker. It doesn't hurt us whether he goes somewhere else or he comes to our team. Really doesn't help us, in my opinion. And in fact, for 10 days now, we are going to leave our roster open for all of the players we don't want to be signed. So Moses Brown, open to be signed to anybody. Chuma, same thing. TJ Warren, same thing. And what do we have to show for it? Oh, yeah. 39-year-old PJ Tucker. 14-year veteran PJ Tucker. Former NBA champion PJ Tucker. Because, all of that helps and makes a lot of sense. Bravo. Doesn't make sense. I broke down exactly why the Knicks made the signing. I understand it. Like I said, I understand the logic behind it, the reason behind it, the thinking behind it, but it doesn't make sense when you look at the roster and you have a clear need. Before we break down that, well, we already broke it down as much as we can, really. One more update that I guess I have for you guys just to share with you before I jump into the chat gang. Shout out to Fred Katz for helping us give this information as well, too. The Knicks plan to sign PJ Tucker. He also confirms that the Knicks believe Tucker can bring championship experience and can bring a vet presence and enforcer mentality to the locker room. I just wanted to mention this again because you know how I am. I always like to mention multiple NBA insiders confirming the exact same thing. That way you can take a lot more credit and believe the report even more than before. That's about 3 or 4 NBA insiders noted and cited regarding PJ Tucker, the Knicks, and why they signed him. I think we all understand it, but just because we understand it doesn't mean that we agree. I certainly don't. This move, after looking at the roster and understanding what we need, makes no sense. This is a luxury addition that we don't have the luxury of adding. We need more size, and the Knicks went out and got PJ Tucker. And I think the main reason for that was for Tom Thibodeau, because there's no other reason to add PJ Tucker unless you know with your whole heart that he is going to get playing time. And that probably went into the factor, and that probably factored into the decision on why the Knicks even added PJ Tucker to the roster in the first place. I appreciate you guys joining this really emergency live stream. Before I close out, I want to go live to you guys. Go to the chat gang, get your response, get your reaction, and see how you guys feel about this news about the Knicks signing PJ Tucker. Unfortunately, guys, I don't have my my analytics up for YouTube, so I can't see how many people are actually even viewing this right now, how many people are watching concurrently, what's going on. So I apologize. I'm going to try to, get my bearings with me here. But I'm going to go to the chat real quick and get to you guys now. And Glenn says, "Hey, Troy, you're sounding like Stephen A. Smith." I apologize if I am, but I hope I'm not sounding like him in the terms of always hating on the Knicks or things like that, because that's not what I want to do. But what I do want to do is highlight moves that we don't need. Did we really need a player like PJ Tucker? Is anybody happy about this move? I didn't get your initial reaction, guys, so please, maybe I'm wrong. Again, according to reports, PJ Tucker plans to sign with the New York Knicks on a 10-day contract. That is the report right now. That is what's happening. If you guys are in agreement with that, if you guys like the move, leave a comment below. I would love to talk to you guys. I want to know if you guys agree with this move. I certainly don't. You guys know where I stand. I think we need more size, and a 39-year-old, 6'5" veteran isn't going to get the job done. Let's see here. Who else? PRS agrees. PRS says, how long ago did this stream start? I think about, 20 minutes ago? Not too long ago. Jay Bear says, I was hoping they signed Moses Brown. I mean, me too, man. PRS says they might as well sign Clyde. Rashidi says, terrible decision. Agreed. Feliciano says, Moses Brown crew. Appreciate the Moses Brown crew in the house. Shout out to you guys. I'm part of that as well. David says, Tucker over Brown. Clearly, Thibs doesn't trust the G League of rookies. I'll never get it, but at least the contract is a 10-day, and he brings grit. That's all I'll say. He's better not join the injury list. Listen, he brings grit, but for where? Is he going to play? 39-year-old veteran's going to play? We want him to play over the rookies? I'll never understand why the Knicks continue to force down all of these aging veterans at times to add to this team when we have the rookies on this squad that can play instead? Why can't we see Pacome Dadier minutes instead of PJ Tucker? Is that illegal, by the way? Can we never see Pacome anymore? Is he just out forever? Because I would have rather the Knicks do that than give the minutes to aging veteran PJ Tucker. Maybe I'm alone in that. Maybe I'm just the only one. But PJ Tucker, really? For your front court? He's 39 years old. You're not selling me on a 39-year-old. Leon Mitchell says, Leon Rose is horrible. No different than Steve Mills. Well, I definitely don't agree with that. I lived through every single one of those eras, and I can tell you for a fact, Steve Mills was worse. Much, much worse. Let's see here. And for anybody who's not knowing what's happening right now, if you're just joining the stream, just coming into all of this craziness, let me catch you up to speed here. According to Shams of ESPN, free agent PJ Tucker plans to sign with the New York Knicks on a 10-day contract. Why the Knicks made this signing, you may ask? Because they wanted the NBA 14-year veteran in the locker room. They respect his championship experience. They also wanted somebody with an enforcer mentality, and that's exactly why they targeted Tucker. Tucker and the Knicks, again, are planning on that 10-day deal. But here's the biggest kicker here. The reason that the Knicks felt confident in adding Tucker is because they believed in who they had at the center position, that it could be covered with the likes of Karl Anthony Towns, Mitchell Robinson, and Precious Achiuwa. That is one of the main reasons why they made that move, because they believe in their depth. But if you believe in your depth, why don't you play your depth at all? Last game, we played 8 players. 8 players. Why don't we utilize our depth? We're signing all these quote-unquote depth pieces. We still only utilize 8. We're still only playing 8. So you're not even convincing me that we'll go to 9 or 10 or whatever it needs to be. I see a lot of throw up emojis right now. Seems like a lot of people don't like the signing here. Leo Riviera says, one thing is for sure, his kicks will be on point, but that's it. That's true. I mean, his kick game it's pretty good. I'm going to get my red cup out. For all the Red Cup gang, if you're in the house right now, pull up a cup, grab a seat. We're all venting together at this point. Let's see here. Escape Artist says, so PJ is going to bark from the bench and then we start winning? LOL. Do you hear yourselves talk? If a lot of people are thinking that PJ Tucker is the answer, he's going to be the voice off the bench. He's going to go, yeah, you can do it. And we're going to magically win 10 games straight. That's not going to happen. It's not going to work. That's not how basketball operates. I'm sorry. That's not it. And if they need a voice that badly in the locker room, they have more severe issues than adding PJ Tucker. Let me tell you that. George says, we don't need experience. We need a Charles Oakley type player in the paint. And that is not PJ Tucker. Let me tell you that. Leo Riviera says, I've been drinking since the Lakers lost. Oh, my goodness. I can feel you on that. My guy, Yuri, what's going on, man? I appreciate you coming back to the live streams. One of my favorite moderators in the house. I know, man, it has been a while. I've been sick, dealing with so many family issues. I apologize, guys, but you know, when I have the time, if I'm available, and it's news like this, I'm not going to leave you guys hanging. I'm definitely going to give you guys a show. Make sure I come on live and interact with you guys as much as I can. My guy Yuri says, I'm good with it. We need toughness. We need grit. We are soft right now. Moses Brown is fool's gold. Just because he dominates in the G League and had one good game doesn't mean he can translate every night. Moses Brown is fool's gold. Sup, Troy? It's been a minute. I appreciate that. Let me tell you why it's not fool's gold, because I disagree with you there. It's not been one game. Go look at what he's doing in the G League. Go look at what he did with Dallas. He put up a 2011 game with Dallas, and then in the G League, since coming back, he's already put up multiple 2020 games, and he's done that during the course of the G League season. Moses Brown is real. It's not fake. It's not pretend. He is a slow bloomer. We know that. He's late with it. But when he's given the time, he can work magic. This kid is the answer, not PJ Tucker. But I appreciate you giving me your response and at least giving me your your insight into why you believe it's an okay signing. I don't agree, but I like being able to go back and forth here. Jay says, Moses Brown has been on several teams for a reason, and he ain't a rookie either. He has been, but this year has been his best year. So you're telling me players can't evolve? Players can't grow? Players can't get better from year to year? If that's the case, then why do you watch basketball? Why do we even give out the award for most improved player? You have to look at those things. Just because you were one type of player a year ago doesn't mean you're the same type of player now. Growth happens, and we've seen that from Moses Brown. And if you're not acknowledging that, it's because you don't want to. You're not wanting to give the man the flowers that he deserves. My guy Justin here says, Kolek was brought up from the G League. He was. If you saw my video from earlier today, I confirmed that was going to happen. I stated that he was already being called in from the Knicks, going to meet with them in California. So I knew that was going to happen. So if you followed the channel from earlier on today, all of those updates and reports were given to you. I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but if you do follow the channel and the updates, at least from the start to the finish of them, you will see that a lot of the things that are stated there, a lot of them do come out a little bit later or maybe at the exact same time, depending on when I actually am able to release that video. Escape Artist says, so PJ Tucker at 40, 6'5", is going to produce more than Brown. You guys have no credibility. My guy, Escape Artist, man, thank you for coming through, helping me trying to combat the craziness for anybody who thinks this PJ Tucker signing is actually a good move. It's not. Let's see here. PRS says, thumbs up on the live stream and sub to your boy Troy. Hey, man, I appreciate that. I know you guys have been waiting. I hear you guys in the comment. Troy, you're coming back to lives. Troy, where are you? Troy, we missed that energy. Well, I'm trying to give you every bit of it as I can right now as you guys are here with me. Can somebody give me the YouTube count? I still can't see it. Again, I'm not sure why YouTube is even doing this. I really want to be able to get the count. I can't see it. All right, whatever. If you're watching the stream, I appreciate you guys. I wish I could shout out the number. I can't. YouTube won't let me see it. But please smash that like button if you haven't done so already. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already, because only subscribers right now are able to join the chat. So if you are a subscriber and if you hit that subscribe button, you will be able to jump in here, chat it up with me. And as you see here, I don't really run away from anything. You have a comment or a question, I'm going to go back and forth with you. Frank says, Dolan needs to step in. Step in for what? To play Moses Brown? Uh-oh. Sean does not like Moses. It seems like we got a PJ Tucker versus Moses Brown thing going on here. I don't want that to be the case. Listen. That should not be the case. Moses Brown is the player that we needed. I don't care if you believe in him, if you love him, if you hate him. He's the player that we needed because of size. You can argue with me till you're blue in the face. We need size. If you're arguing size, Moses Brown is the most logical fit regardless. Now, the only argument on the other end for PJ Tucker is the argument I already went over, and I'll be happy to go over it with everybody if you're just joining the stream. The real reason why the Knicks added PJ Tucker, it was not only for them to get that enforcer mentality. The other reason is because they wanted somebody else in the corner to shoot that three-point shot. Tucker has made 704 corner three-pointers over the past 12 seasons, the most in the NBA during that span. That's number one. Number two, Tucker is expected to be an option for the Knicks coach Tom Thibodeau across all front court positions. That means he'll play backup for Mikal, play backup for OG, play backup for Carl, for Achua, for Robinson. That's what that means. That's the real reason they added him. But at 39 years old, that's what we're doing here. And shout out to my guy, Carl Knight, joining as a member. That's the best way to get exclusive content, to get all those exclusive member videos. And when I eventually do them, those exclusive only member live streams, those are going to be available as well too. You're not going to want to miss any of that content if you're not already missing content. If you're not already missing some of the content with all of the dope exclusives that we already posted for members, but I appreciate you, my guy. Thank you and welcome to the club. My guy, let's see, a lot of comments here. Let's see. Fernan says, what has PJ done in the last year for anybody? Dumb, dumb, dumb. My guy is just saying exactly what I feel. It is that. But my guy, Nostalgia Nick, and shout out to him because he's been, one of my main subs for so long, and he says he will be playing. I absolutely agree. He will be playing. And that's the problem. We signed him because we know if we signed anybody else, they may not be playing. That's the issue. That's the problem. We all should have an issue with that. All of us. Down South Brolic says, hey, recap. I like the signing. We need some toughness. He's 6'5", my dog. He's 6'5", 39 years old. It's like your dad going into the locker room and him putting on a jersey and saying, hey, guys, you guys got to toughen up. You guys got to get out there. You guys got to lock in. We have a young locker room. He's almost 10 years older than everybody in the locker room. You're signing dad? You want dad in the locker room? I don't want dad. I don't like playing with dad. This is not Bronny and LeBron. This ain't a dad relationship. I don't want that. I want size. We need size. My head. I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm about to go crazy. Oh, man. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, live. Beer belly dad. Might be. You might be able to call him that. It could be a nickname. It might be a nickname now. We have no idea. But Papa Time and PJ Tucker is coming along, and people are trying to tell me he's going to bring grit. He's going to bring as much grit as the father in middle school is going to bring. That ain't grit. That's embarrassment. You need to sign PJ Tucker to make you look tough? PJ Tucker to make you look tough? I'm calming down. I calmed down. I'm good. I didn't go crazy. I calmed down. I reined it in. See, I reined it in. I didn't go crazy. Okay. So he says, laughing, you right, though. Moses Brown should have been the move. I'm just saying it should have been. And when he gets taken, you know what? I'm going to go into regular mode here for this because I have to. I'm going to go into regular mode for this here. Okay? Regular mode here for this. This is a message, okay? This is a message. Let Moses Brown get signed by another team. Let that happen. You want to see me go off? You want to see me lose my mind? You want to see recap go nuts? Let Moses Brown get signed and picked up by another team when we need more size. Let that happen. Watch. Watch how crazy it's going to get. And God forbid we have an injury to the center depth and we start leaning on PJ Tucker because Moses Brown is gone. Have notifications on because that video is much watch television. That's a must watch see video. If there was ever one released on the channel, let me tell you that. Going back to you guys here. Sharon, what's going on? Could have signed Trent Tucker. Could have signed a lot of people. We could have signed so many different people. We could have signed Chuma and given us size and a younger player if that's the type of player you were after. Why? The only benefit is that it's 10 days. But because of the way they're talking about him, it sounds like it's inevitable that this 10-day will turn into the rest of the season contract. And that's not what you want to have happen. Let's see here. Carl Knight says, I got to scroll up for Carl here. The person we should really feel bad for is TJ Warren. He's been busting his ass off in the G League. And they signed PJ Tucker, a player who has not played a game this season yet. That's just sad. It is sad. It is very sad. Let's see here. Sean says, Knick fans love fringe players. I remember when Thibs was holding back the great Frank Ntilikina. Nah. We can't do that. We cannot start comparing. Well, we drafted Frank. We knew we were getting there. He was a prospect. No. You guys are not going to sway the conversation that way. I'm not going to allow that. There's no way. We're talking about a need versus a hypothetical. We're talking about what you believe an aging veteran can provide versus what a true, legit backup center can give us. Look at the team. Take feelings out of it. Take the coach out of it. Take all of it out of it. Just look at the team. You're honestly telling yourself a 39-year-old veteran is what we needed and not a 7'2" defensive monster that you could still develop that gives you a backup at a position that you desperately need? Let me say our centers again. Achua, Robinson, and Karl Anthony Towns. You're confident? You're confident? You're confident? Okay. Let an injury happen. Let me see one of those guys on the injury report. They can't go. And our center rotation turns into 2. And then you guys tell me, don't worry, we have PJ Tucker. We have PJ Tucker. We have Daddy in the background about to come in, check in, and just labor in the back, labor in the corner. That's what you want? You want me to be excited about that? We can't see the vision. If you're telling me your vision has PJ Tucker in it, you are blind. You're blind. PJ Tucker is not in anybody's vision. None. All good. All good. We can argue till we're blue in the face if you want to. But this is a completely different conversation. We're talking about drafting rookies and identifying talent, needs, and what the roster needs moving forward. Everybody thinks that we need a 39-year-old veteran. That's the magic. That's the cure that we need. That's going to set us on a 14-game winning streak. Make us forget of all the things that we're dealing with. No! Size! Address the need. Address the need. If you break your leg, do you go to the vet? No! You go to the doctor. What are we doing? You need size, so you go after PJ Tucker? All right. Anyways, go back to the comments. Lynx, he's clearly in the Knicks' vision because they signed him, brother. Try to relax and breathe. I'm breathing. I'm just heavy breathing. I'm heavy breathing. Outlaw says, Moses Brown is right there, and we won't even pick him up. I believe that. Sean Frank says, nobody is saying that, bro. It's an end of the bench signing. It's the end of the bench signing when we need a player off the bench with size. We have nobody with size. If an injury happens, we are cooked. Does nobody understand that? Am I the only person that is looking at the center depth right now and is fearful? Nobody's scared? We're all good? Mitchell Robinson just came back. Yay! He's not going to get injured again. Karl Anthony Towns, he's not been dealing with knee issues all season long. How in the world can anybody think this is a good move when we have these clear issues? Never going to understand it. End of the bench move when we don't need that move. But we're okay with it because it's the end of the bench move. It doesn't matter. It's the end of the bench. Wrong. It does matter. It does matter. It does matter. We should be utilizing it. That's the mistake that nobody's seeming to get here. We think, okay, end of the bench. It doesn't matter. It's the only end of the bench. Who cares, right? That's the thinking behind it. And that's why we'll never see the same thing. We'll never, ever agree or be on the same page if that's how you view this team, if that's how you see it. because you'll never be able to give criticism. If you can't look at the other side and say when things are bad, and you're always going to find the positive silver lining for everything, then you're always going to ignore the problems that are right in front of your face. I'm never going to be that person. I'm sorry. I refuse to be. If I see an issue, I'm going to call it out. Regardless if some of you refuse to, I will. Always. And I don't care if it's the popular opinion or not. It's what I want to do, what I see, what I believe. And I don't care how many people agree with that. If you watch the games, many of you know what I'm talking about. Let's continue here. Jay says, Huck Porty will be back in a few weeks. Huck Porty's done for the season, brother. He had surgery on a torn meniscus. If you believe Huck Porty is going to be back this season, I have some rental property that doesn't exist. It's imaginary, but just take my word for it. I'll sell it to you anyways. If you're believing Huck Porty's going to come back this season, you're ignoring rehab. You're ignoring all of the physical checkpoints he has to go through. And the fact of the matter is, nobody understands how severe of a torn meniscus he had to think he's going to come back in a few weeks. Do we hear ourselves? He's going to come back in a few weeks. He just tore his meniscus and had surgery. You sure you're not drinking? Do you have a red cup with you too? I mean, I know it's popular nowadays, but careful. Okay. CP says, I stand with you 1,000%. My guy, CP, I appreciate you, my guy. Thank you for some people standing by me here. You're not going to convince me. Don't try to convince me. If your goal is to try to sell me on PJ Tucker, you've lost. You're not going to be able to do that. You're not selling me on a 39-year-old. The only silver lining is that it's a 10-day contract. That's all you get. That's it. Other than that, this was a miserable signing. Terrible. There is nothing that we benefit from it at all. Zero. None. Zero. I would rather have Rick Brunson give a message to the locker room every halftime, than sign PJ Tucker. Let me make that clear. Jay Supreme says, you must be drinking, going crazy over Moses Malone Brown. Definitely not, but I do love my drinking, but definitely not. What I am going crazy, though, is that people not understanding that we have a need at size, but trying to laugh and convince me that PJ Tucker is still the answer while still laughing off that Moses Brown couldn't help, but trying to sell me that a 39-year-old over-the-hill veteran can help. Yeah, cool. All good. Let's keep going here. Nostalgia Nick says, waive right. They should waive right. I hope that's the next move to sign Moses Brown. Tucker says, Thibs would have never played Moses. He's too stubborn. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much for that. If you want to get your comment prioritized so I don't miss it, the best way to do that is to hit that super chat button, leave your comment, and I'll read it on screen, just like you saw just now with Tucker's comment. And I agree with him to an extent. I understand that he might have not played Moses Brown, but here's the thing. When you have roster issues, you need to address them. Signing Moses Brown was twofold, by the way, because it prevents another team from signing him. What does PJ Tucker give you? What does he give you? How many minutes does he give you? Whose spot is he taking in the rotation? Who's not going to play minutes now because 39-year-old veteran PJ Tucker's in there now? What's going to happen there? Oh, he's not going to play. He's just going to be wasted on the bench, a voice in the locker room, being that enforcer mentality. Whatever that means, sell me that. It doesn't make sense. Anybody that's trying to justify the move, that's what you're doing. Trying to justify it and then wanting me to justify it back for you. I'm not justifying the move. This is a bad move. The only saving grace, it's a 10-day contract. Hopefully after 10 days, the Knicks snap out of it, release him, and go after somebody else. Because Tucker ain't it. CP says, ain't no one wanting PJ Tucker but the Knicks. Ain't that the truth? Sean says, you're bugging out over nothing. I'm glad you think it's over nothing. That's your perspective. I appreciate your perspective. I hope you'll appreciate my perspective, Because no matter what, no matter if I'm talking to 1,000, 10, you, or anybody else, I will always, and I repeat, always be true to myself and what I believe. I'll never shift because somebody believes this is an okay move. I don't know why you're tripping. I'm pretty sure I made it clear why I'm tripping. We have a size issue, and we signed a 6'5" veteran in PJ Tucker. Ring, ring, ring. That's why I'm tripping. Let's see here. Alyssa says, I agree with you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. David says, love the move. I don't. I hate the move. Jay Bear says, a lot of Fayweather fans in here. Some of them I will agree with. I do see some of them in here, but I don't mind that. I don't mind because the thing is, this community is open to everybody. I don't mind what type of fan that you are. As long as you can go back and forth with me respectfully, there's no issue with me. Denzo says, watch PJ make our defense tougher and Troy will apologize afterwards. You think PJ Tucker's going to get time? So he's going to steal playing time from somebody else? How is he going to magically change our defense? How much time is he getting to magically change it? Is he going to change it in 10 minutes? 15 minutes? That's the time he's going to magically change our defense? And what is he going to do in that time? He's going to be the enforcer inside that we need? 6'5" PJ Tucker? Because not every team right now is dancing inside on top of Karl Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson, scoring with ease, backdoor and pick and roll. By the way, that's not a personnel issue. That's a scheming issue. You're running something and it's happening each and every time. But yeah, sure, PJ Tucker's going to solve that. Okay, sure. Let's get a gift today. Says, we need a strong center to match up with the Celtics. We don't see that in PJ. Tucker is a wasteful move. Absolutely agree. Jimmy Martin says, I guarantee Tucker will get playing time because of his defensive trust. At 39 years old? At 39 years old? I can't believe this. I can't believe I'm reading these comments right now. PJ Tucker's gonna help? I don't have enough in my cup. I don't have enough. I don't have enough. I can't believe these I can't. Am I still live? This can't. Is this getting invaded by bots? Am I live here right now still? Is it still going on? Do I still have a lot of viewers here? I can't see I can't see the view count. So I have no idea what's going on here right now. We're good still, right? Okay, yeah, I'm still good here. I can't believe that somebody just told me that PJ Tucker is going to be influential to our defense at 39 years old. At 30, oh my God. Oh Lord. Oh, give me the strength. Give me the strength, please. Oh goodness. All right. Okay, let's keep it going here. We need a strong, well, we already read that comment. Let's see here. Michael Parker says, just now getting into the chat, where the F is Moses Brown? Why has he not been signed yet? What the F is the Knicks brain trust smoking on? Shout out to my guy, Michael Parker. I want to give him more of a shine there because that comment went by a little too fast. Let me give him more shine there. 1 second. Load that up real quick. There we go. All right. So again, just want to give him a little bit more shine. That's a $10 super chat, mind you. So I got to make sure his comment is on screen just a little bit so we can all talk about it here. According to Michael Parker, that's my guy, by the way. Shout out to you. Great super chat. I really do appreciate that. He says, just now getting in on the chat, where the F is Moses Brown? Why hasn't he been signed yet? What the F is the Knicks brain trust smoking on? Well, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you jumping in. Anybody join the chat right now, if you're not sure what's going on, let me break down to you what has just happened, what has just transpired. The Knicks have just signed PJ Tucker to a 10-day contract. Yes, a 10-day contract. That is the only silver lining here. But the way the Knicks are speaking about PJ kind of leads you to believe that this 10-day might be longer. Listen here. The reason the Knicks signed him was because they wanted somebody with an enforcer mentality and a locker room veteran presence. That's why they got him. They also believe that who they have at the center position can cover it at this point in time between Karl Anthony Towns, Mitchell Robinson, and Precious Achiuwa. The reasoning behind that doesn't make any sense, mind you. That's the first thing. The reasoning doesn't make sense. But if you just look at the roster, we don't need an aging veteran. We need size. So adding Moses Brown makes more sense than adding a player like PJ. I don't understand it, and I don't think I'll ever understand it. Doesn't make sense to me. Let's go back to the live chat. See what everybody else is talking about here. 1 second. I'm just loading up the messages now, so give me a second, guys. All right, here we go. All right. Jay says to Juan, so apparently Juan is going off here. He says, stop overreacting. They're acting like he's going to start or something. I don't think it's an overreaction to be upset with this move. I think people are upset because they understand we have a need for size, a need at center right now. And if we're not adding those players, it's okay to be upset. I want to make sure we're clear here. I don't think people are upset with PJ Tucker primarily. I think it's about signing PJ Tucker when we need more size. If we had size already and this was a luxury addition that we just could add it and it wasn't going to hurt us, I don't think a lot of people will be upset with it. It's because you did this when we still have a need for a center, when we still have depth issues at that position. That's why people are upset. So I am not going to fault anybody for feeling that way. I understand it. LB So Wavy says, we need another big man. It's not a hard concept to understand. But we got a 40-year-old PJ Tucker. That's it. That's really what it is. Outlaw 24 says, we don't have an enforcer. I get that. And we don't have a person that is vocal out there. A lot of these players are quiet besides Josh Hart and maybe Cam. But other than that, we still need Moses. Here's the thing. The Knicks can still help all of this if they waive DeLon Wright and they can sign a Moses Brown. They can still do that. They can correct this situation. Although I don't see them doing that, I really do see them holding on to PJ Tucker after this 10-day contract and keeping him then still. I don't think they're going to let him go. And that's my main concern. I am worried that this is going to continue and continue. Shout out to my guy, Westchester Lester, $2 super chat, who says, is Leon well? Why did he sign a 39-year-old always injured PJ Tucker? I don't know. I wish I could answer that question for you, man. I don't know. And the more I try to answer the question, the more I scratch my head. I just don't understand it. I'm never going to understand it, man. It just doesn't make sense. He used to be good. Shout out to Escape Artist. He was a great defender maybe 100 years ago. Nowhere near where he is right now. I don't know why. But clearly the Knicks feel that they have enough at the center position that they don't need to make a move like this. They don't need to jump off the plane here and sign a Moses Brown. They're comfortable with who they have. Again, I disagree with it. A lot of you guys disagree with it. But this is the course of action the Knicks made. The only saving grace, once again, is that this is a 10-day contract. So if they don't like the move after 10 days, they can waive them. They'll have that open roster spot available, and they can still sign somebody for the rest of the season if they want to. So that's going to be up to the Knicks and up to their front office, It's going to be up to the Knicks and their front office to decide what they're going to do moving forward. But these are the moves that they have at their disposal and at their fingertips right now. And they chose to add PJ. Pacers Stink says, PJ auditioning for that assistant coach job. Man. If that was the case, I wouldn't be mad at it, bro. I'd be happier if that wasn't the case, but that wasn't it, man. He joined the team. Jose says, who do you think will lose minutes signing PJ? Shamet. Shamet's out of the rotation. Shamet's gone. Shamet was rarely in there to begin with. And honestly, Shamet wasn't shooting the three like we needed him to. We needed his defense. So if I had to pluck somebody out of the rotation and replace him with PJ Tucker, that player would likely be Landry Shamet for a PJ Tucker. It would probably be the case. It makes the most sense. He gives you a little bit more size, a little bit more physical. I can see him doing that. And obviously, the way he shoots the corner three, he's still able to give you the shooting that you need. And Shamit's really not able to provide that at this point, at least not at the level that the Knicks need. So I do think that that could be the move if somebody's going to lose minutes and Tom Thibodeau is refusing to expand the rotation. Only time will tell, but I do see that probably happening there. Let's see here. Robert says, T-Mac, Vin Baker, Antonio McDyess, Jason Kidd, Baron Davis. Just giving us a list of the all-time classics there. I hate Fraud Utters says, well, I think he's upset with the move. Roderick says, maybe the Knicks are working the years and numbers. Maybe they are, but even if they are, 39-year-old PJ Tucker does not make sense in any universe ever. Not at all. Not ever. We're not even close to the playoffs. So maybe you're thinking like, well, maybe he can help us in the postseason. Then sign him near the postseason. Don't sign him now. Doesn't make sense. My guy Eddie says, what's going on, fam? How you doing? MP says, why don't we sign Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? Why not? We're signing all these older veterans. Why not? Carl Knight says, I want Moses Brown to sign with the Lakers because the Knicks clearly don't want him. And also the Lakers, oh my goodness, second favorite team? I don't know what that is. I don't believe in all that, Carl. I don't know what that is. My first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 100th favorite team is the New York Knicks forever. I don't have another team. And God knows I do not want Moses Brown to go to the Lakers. Oh my God. That's disgusting. Ugh. It made me throw up in my mouth. Yeah. That's nasty work. Don't ever do that again. Okay. Escape Artist says, PJ gonna turn this team into 10 days with his toughness. Right. His toughness. G. Robinson says, PJ at center. Him and Precious will not play together. Thibs has a new toy. I mean, maybe. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what PJ Tucker's role is going to be. I do see him playing over Shamit, believe it or not. I do see that happening. D-Block says, we need another big man. I'm glad some people understand where I'm coming from. I'm glad I'm not alone. Sometimes I feel like I'm going crazy here, that nobody understands where I'm going at. Jay Supreme says, downtown Brown, Moses Malone Brown. How about 2020 Moses Brown? Because that's what he's putting up in the G League on a nightly basis. So we're just going to ignore that, right? Oh, it doesn't matter. It's the G League. How many G Leaguers are doing that? Tell me. Go ahead. Give me the list. How many G Leaguers are putting up Moses Brown's numbers? I'll wait. You done? You got your list yet? Got your list yet? Huh? Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyways, Chris gives me the laughing emoji. Jonathan says, hell nah. They better not sign Moses to the Lakers. That's what I'm saying. What is this guy talking about? To the Lakers? Come on, Carl. Outlaw says, and we know Tom Thibodeau will always refuse to expand the rotation. Knicks acting like they signed Draymond Green. Not even that. PJ's not even close to that. Roderick says, yeah, we need Moses Brown now, period. I agree. Who needs to be toughened up? Chris Connor says, the same Thibs that had issues playing Jericho Sims at that. Sign any suspended player, says Leon Mitchell. You guys are hilarious, man. Hey, listen, I appreciate you guys, man. You guys are going crazy right now in the chat. This live stream is going off as well, too, man. You guys are really making this a great live stream for Saturday. I didn't expect it, like I said, kind of out of the blue. You know, I'm just going through my day, minding my own business. Then I see the Knicks make that announcement that obviously we have signed PJ Tucker. And then you know me. When I have the time, I'm going to go live. I'm going to share all that information with you. But I think we've broken down this topic as much as we're going to break it down. And I've covered it with you guys as much as I'm going to cover it today. I really want to go ahead, break down this video, get you this next video get you this next video from this video tomorrow. So you have that one waiting in the wings. You can go ahead and utilize that one and see what's coming with the updates for that. And hopefully, as the days go by, we get further updates on the Knicks, their potential future roster moves, if this is going to be it for them, or do they have plans after PJ Tucker? We're going to have to wait and get all of that information. But you guys have been great. A Saturday night live stream. You could be anywhere in the world. And you chose to be here with me on this live stream as I'm kind of going nuts talking about PJ Tucker and breaking down the latest signing where the Knicks have signed PJ Tucker to a 10-day contract. And obviously, with them signing him to a 10-day contract, they have finally completed their roster, and now they have a fully completed roster. But again, saving grace here is it's only a 10-day contract. So because of that, it likely means that the Knicks may waive him and make other roster moves down the line. The only reason I'm not sure about that, though, is they have a lot of belief in him. They have a lot of faith in him. And also, they had a major plan in place for why they signed him in the first place. You don't sign somebody to a 10-day contract with all of this behind him, with all of these ideas, with all of these plans, if you're not looking to hold on to him for the long term. So potentially, this might be it. This might be the Knicks' final roster for the rest of the season. And we might potentially see in the next 10 days, PJ Tucker take that 10-day contract and get it converted to a rest of the season contract. In my opinion, that would be a terrible move because we don't need a PJ Tucker. We need size right now. We needed a player like Moses Brown, and hopefully the Knicks can still be able to pull off a move like that. But as of right now, it's clear. They're not looking in that direction. The direction they're in is looking at Moses Brown. And they saw that direction, they saw that player, and they signed him immediately. And now Tucker will be on the Knicks, and I can guarantee he's likely going to see minutes under Tom Thibodeau. And the player likely removed from the rotation because of PJ Tucker is going to be Landry Shamet. But let me know, guys, how do you feel about the Knicks making this signing and adding PJ Tucker to the roster? Do you like the move? Do you not like the move? Do you not even care? Let me know in the comment section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knick fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Peace and love.